Hello and welcome back. My name is Tom Nelson, and this is video lesson number 12, step 6 of the 6 steps of gaining complete control over diabetes, and this is part 7. You're going to learn how to conduct a liver cleanse. So like your kidneys, your liver is a filter, but it is much more than that. Your liver actually performs over 500 different very important functions, and like all filters, they have to be cleaned periodically in order to function at an optimal level. Your liver is more exposed to more toxins and more bad things than any other organ in your body, other than your intestines. So the fine print, if you read it, on all your medications is going to make some form of statement advising that your liver can be damaged or cause issues with your liver because of that medication, because it's your livers that first encounter those medications when you take them. Everything that is digested goes directly to your liver, and your liver then filters out and destroys pathogens and toxins in an attempt to get rid of them. And that's going to include your medications if they're taken orally. And it makes it possible then for your body to discard them unless the liver is functioning below optimal level, or if the amount is too great. Prescriptions are often geared so that they overwhelm the liver, allowing extra amounts, the amount needed to pass through into the bloodstream in order to do whatever they're intended to do. So recall that your body's antigens, remember your antigens, they have the antennas that wave around out in the bloodstream, and they're even in your liver. And they sense when anything unnatural or detrimental enters your body, including your medications. So your liver and your immune system are going to spring into action and try to destroy those invaders. That includes, again, your medications. Dosages, again, are designed to overwhelm your liver to allow the needed amount to pass through. So invaders that enter your body and get past your defense mechanisms are those inhaled or absorbed through your skin. They can travel to your liver where they are also filtered out and destroyed. So one of your liver's functions is to produce the bile fluid. Some is excreted directly into the small intestine. Most is transferred through the bile ducts to the gallbladder, where it'll be stored until you eat meat or protein or something that's fatty, and then it'll be secreted into your small intestine to help digest it. But it's also intended to get rid of all kinds of junk, of waste products, and excess LDL cholesterol. So, over time, the bile ducts will slowly fill with very small stones that form from accumulated crystallized minerals, cholesterol, dead parasites, bacteria, fungi, and much, much more. All things that had been removed from the bloodstream by the liver and then put into the bile fluids in the gallbladder in those ducts. So there are too many to be seen in an X-ray. They're actually too small to be seen. And they are large enough, though, to build up and restrict the flow through those bile ducts. Some have been there for many, many years. So an aggressive liver cleanse is going to flush those stones and the other matter out of those bile ducts. And they'll be in a clean state that they have not been in for a very long time. So if you're no longer eating wheat or foods that are detrimental to your blood type, you should have significantly reduced the number of toxins and agglutinated substances that are in your bloodstream. So when you restored hydration, you started the process of flushing a lot of those waste products and toxins out of your body. And you have significantly reduced the load on your liver and the load that it was carrying. The extra fluid aids the kidneys in flushing those toxins and the waste out into the urine through your kidneys. So you should not conduct a liver cleanse unless you have completed the colon cleanse, intestinal cleanse first, and then followed by the kidney cleanse. It's advised that if you have never conducted a liver gallbladder cleanse, that you should consider using a commercially prepared liver cleanse the first time. And then you can use the do-it-yourself method that I'm going to show you from that point forward. There are many that are made up of blends of herbs and natural substances that are very effective in cleansing your liver. So, conducting a liver cleanse. An effective do-it-yourself liver cleanse is as follows. For 2 days prior to the cleanse, you're going to eat primarily apples and drink a large amount of organic, no sugar added apple juice, and that, because of the pectin that's contained in them, is going to soften the stones and all of the accumulated matter. And you're going to need a few things to conduct this cleanse. First, you're going to need 1 large grapefruit, and you're going to refrigerate it up to the time you're going to, a few hours before you're going to need it. 1 4-cup container. That's going to be one that has a lid that can be tightened and seal it, because you're going to be shaking the liquids that are going to be put in it. You're going to take 4 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of Epsom salts, and it must be able to be taken again internally. Make certain that the Epsom salts can be taken internally and aren't intended just for bathing or soaking. So you're going to take 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil. You're going to need 3 cups of filtered water. You're going to need a natural sleep agent, something like melatonin, but it's optional. It's totally up to you. If you find yourself having difficulty getting to sleep, then I would advise that you get some. Melatonin is all natural. It's not habit forming. It is not dangerous in any respect. Apples and apple juice, you're going to need up to 6 apples and 2 gallons of apple juice. So eat apples and drink apple juice right up to noon the day that you're going to conduct the cleanse. So in advance, prepare the Epsom salt mixture. You're going to put all that Epsom salt in the water in that sealable container. You're going to secure the lid. You're going to shake it very vigorously until it appears that all of the salts have been diluted or dissolved, and then place it in the refrigerator, because when you drink it cold, it's going to enhance the flavor. At 6 p.m. sharp, shake the Epsom salt and take the first 3/4 cup dosage of that Epsom salt water. You can rinse your mouth if you need to remove the taste. It's not going to affect anything. At 6 p.m., remove the grapefruit from the refrigerator and allow it to warm to room temperature. You're going to need it later in the evening. Diarrhea will commence just like it did in your bowel cleanse, and it usually will occur within an hour of taking that Epsom salt. At 8 p.m., again, you're going to shake that Epsom salt water mix, and you're going to take a second dosage, which again is 3/4 cup. At 9:45 p.m., you're going to combine the olive oil and the juice of the fresh squeezed grapefruit. If you don't get a full 3/4 cup of the grapefruit juice out of that grapefruit, then add enough lemon juice until you fill out that required 3/4 cup. So just prior to 10 p.m., you should be totally ready for bed. You should attempt to force any remaining bowel volume prior to that, and take that sleep aid if you're going to use one. And exactly 10 p.m., shake the olive oil and grapefruit mix together and drink it down quickly, because that olive oil is going to attempt to separate out very quickly. It's not going to be real pleasant tasting, but it's absolutely necessary. So then immediately lie down on your back, prop your head up if you can, go directly to sleep, and get 8 hours of sleep. But before you went to bed, before that 10 o'clock dosage, you should have set your alarm so that you would have enough time so that sharply at 7 a.m. you could take 1 more additional dosage of that Epsom salt mixture. It's normal to experience mild nausea in the morning, and you can go back to bed after taking that dosage if you feel the need to. At 9 a.m. sharp, shake up the remaining Epsom salt and take the final dosage, that final 3/4 cup. And diarrhea, again, will resume, but it'll be far less intense. A large amount of stones are probably going to be very visible when you do your final discharges. Some people report that the entire top of the water in the toilet is totally covered with multiply colored stones that float. They're brown and green and yellow and some red. It shouldn't frighten you. That's because those have been flushed out of your gallbladder. So do not eat anything until at least 2 hours after you've taken that final dosage of Epsom salt. Your first meal should be something like a fresh fruit smoothie or some juice, and then you can follow by fresh fruit approximately 1 hour later, half hour to an hour, and then resume your normal eating schedule and your normal diet. The Epsom salt is going to stimulate your liver and it's going to open up those bile ducts. The olive oil and the grapefruit also are tremendous stimulators of your liver. So it may be necessary to conduct a second cleanse if you haven't ever done one before, and especially if you've had any kind of gallbladder issues. It may be necessary to conduct a second cleanse within a day or two. You can follow one right after the other. So now proceed to Lesson 12, Part 8, Arterial Plaque Removal. We're going to show you how to remove all of the plaque from all of your arteries. It actually does work. I've seen it numerous times, and I have done it for myself. So thank you for watching this video lesson, and please pay it forward. Thank you.